Hi everybody, Bill Knudsen here, New York Sports with an Attitude. Well, attitude is the way it's been for quite a while now, as the Mets go down for the 7th straight game. And it seems that there's no end in sight. Lugo wasn't horrible, 5 innings, 3 runs, but only one of those runs was his fault on the home run he gave up. He had to throw a whole bunch of extra pitches because Guillorme obviously forgot how to field. Made 2 errors early. That cost us 2 runs, and, you know, we ended up losing the game by 2 runs. And then later on in the game, Guillorme, after we made a comeback with Flores hitting a big 3-run pinch hit home run in the 7th inning to cut the lead to 5-4, Guillorme came up in the 8th inning, first and second, 2 outs, and I said to myself, this guy can't hit. I mean, he's going to hit a weak ground ball or a weak pop-up. The only positive thing about his offense is he really doesn't strike out. He puts the ball in play. But I said he'll hit a weak ground ball or a weak pop-up, and of course he hit a weak ground ball to third base. And, you know, didn't get the clutch hit. Of course, the inning before, while we were still rallying, you know, Cabrera had first and second, 1 out after Flores had hit the home run to make it 5-4. Cabrera, of course, hits into a double play because that's what we do. We either strike out with runners in scoring position, usually looking, or we hit into double plays. So I I figured the game was over when we were down 5-0, and the Mets tried to make me wrong by scoring 4 in the 7th, but as soon as Cabrera killed any chance of tying the game by hitting into that double play, I still figured we were dead, even though we still had 2 more at-bats. And then, you know, Guillorme, of course, in the 8th inning didn't come through at all. But anyway, a couple of new things happened today. We brought up this relief pitcher, Tyler Bachelor from AA, and we sent Flexen down for, what, the 100th time this year, it seems like? I mean, Flexen's no good anyway. But this kid, Tyler Bachelor, you know, came in, got the first 2 outs, looked pretty good. He's got good stuff, but unfortunately, his control is an issue. And after he got the first 2 outs, he walked the guy and then gave up an opposite field 2-run homer and put us down 5-0, which, you know, seemingly put the game on ice for the Pirates, even though we did come back. But this kid Bachelor, he seems to have pretty good stuff, so what do we have to lose? Everybody else in the bullpen is horrible. So I hope we give this kid a chance, and if he can get his control under control, you know, we might have some hope for the future in the bullpen. I think he's only like 23 years old. But unfortunately, he gave up a home run too, which we've given up 9 home runs in the last 2 games. And we're the 2nd worst in baseball in terms of the amount of home runs we've given up. So it's just been terrible. Lugo, like I said, wasn't that bad, but he had to throw a whole bunch of extra pitches because of Guillorme's errors and stuff. So unfortunately, he got the loss. Flores came up big, you know, with the pinch hit. Gave us life, but unfortunately we could never get the big hit when the game was on the line. And a couple of ugly numbers that I was listening to right at the end of the game, coming into tonight's game. At home this year, the Mets are batting .216. And obviously that probably didn't go up today. That's just horrifyingly bad. Even batting .250 is not good, especially at home. The comforts of home, you should be hitting better. .216. Horrible. And with runners in scoring position, it's probably worse than that, or right about that. Just absolutely horrible, the lack of clutch hitting this year. And, you know, we go down for the 7th game in a row. We fall to 31-45, 14 games under 500. Just absolutely horrible. And we lose for the 14th time in our last 15 home games. Just absolutely terrible. The lack of hitting, clutch hitting, you know, striking out, looking, you know, Bautista got to end the game. 2 strikes, fastball right down the middle. Granted, the guy was throwing 99 and 100. I get it. But As I've said before, would I have been able to hit that pitch? Of course not. I would have swung the bat though, guaranteed. You know, 2 strikes. You know you gotta swing the bat. And he looked at strike 3 right down the middle. So what are you gonna do? That batting average for the Mets at home this year, the worst in 50 years. So as I've said in previous shows, we're not just bad. We've done things like historically bad, or in terms of the home batting average, the worst in 50 years. So it's just horrible. Obviously, as I've said before, we're going to be selling at the deadline, if not earlier. But I hear people saying, well, we can't sell, you know, DeGrom and Syndergaard and Nimmo and Conforto. I get it. You don't want to give up those guys. But if you don't give up those guys, you're not going to get anything. And obviously this team has, the way it is now, has no chance of being competitive in any way, shape, or form. So it's going to be interesting to see, because our lineup is, a minor league lineup, if you think about it. You know, it's older, it's slow, and it's got a lot of guys that really can't hit, with a couple of exceptions. But it's basically a minor league lineup. The bullpen, absolutely atrocious. Atrocious. Horrible. I don't know what else to say. Like I said, this kid Tyler Bachelor, I know he gave up a walk and a home run tonight. But, you know, he's young. And it was his first game ever in the major league. So obviously I'm not going to crucify him for that. But it seems like he's got pretty good stuff. He's got a changeup. He's got a good breaking ball. Throws like 96, 97. So it seems like I might have some hope for him. I mean, we have nothing to lose. Let the kid pitch. We have nothing in the bullpen anyway. You know, defense, not a good defensive team. We haven't been for many years. And Guillorme, you know, showed that tonight. He can't hit and he can't field. So that didn't help at all. You know, so what are you going to do? It's getting much closer to talking a lot less about the Mets, I think, and talking about more positive things. Maybe the Giants. They can't be any worse than they were last year. And there are actually some positive things to talk about with the Giants, or at least it seems like there are. But anyway, that's all I've got. You know, another disappointing game. We've got Matz going tomorrow night. He had been pitching well until Colorado last week. Then he was terrible, but a lot of pitchers don't do well in Colorado, so maybe I'll forgive him for that one. Hopefully he can end this long losing streak for us tomorrow night. All right. That's it for tonight, folks. Don't forget, subscribe, check everything out, see what's going on, subscribe to the show. And in closing, I appreciate you watching and listening. I do. Keep doing that. Tell other people to do it. And, you know, it's always tomorrow night. Let's go Mets. Let's go Mets. Thanks again for watching. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time.